Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Wednesday, November 26th. All right. This should be pretty much the last trading day for me for this week. First off, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving for tomorrow. And did spot a setup on the NQ short at the 25,267.50. But so close to the market open, that's going to be kind of a tough proposition there. Market's a little nutty right now, so I'll leave this one up there. Today our focus is going to be on our ES and NQ levels that I plot out each morning on Discord. So we'll take a look at those levels, those weekly bands that I show right here. So this will be pretty much the screen we'll be looking at a lot. What I will do is I will take these levels that we have already on TradingView and then just plot them on NinjaTrader so that we've got a chart that we're obviously all familiar with and easier to trade with. And we're going to go over how I kind of come up with these levels so you guys can see what I'm looking for to get my basis on my 15 and 5 minute levels, and we'll take it from there. I think it'll be a good lesson here. So again, real too close for the market open for me to take this trade there, but we'll see what happens here. There's the tap. $270s. We've got there's the tap of that 270s. Now we'll kind of see what the market gives us here. That was a good reaction right there at the 270s. TP1 and TP2 on that one. All right, well, that was the start. Damn, Cad, you took it? Good job, man. All right, so now that we got some time here. As you guys know, my 15-minute levels are always going to be in solid blue. My 5-minute levels are going to always be in these dots that I put in. So on NinjaTrader, it'll be the same thing. It'll be solid lines and then dotted lines. So if you see, I did this morning, I did map out a 5-minute level at the 25,230. If you go onto Discord, you can take a look at that. And you got a decent reaction right off of that level that rejected for about 20-ish points. So this 15-minute level that we got above us at the 25,296, kind of go back in time here and see where this level came from. And as you guys can see, again, I'm on a 15-minute chart. My line is always going to intersect the two bodies. Okay, so I am looking for a movement to the upside, and then I'm looking for a very impulsive move to the downside, or at least in a move that breaks structure. This broke a lot of structure right here. So this is a great 15-minute level to start off with. So if I take this, let's just copy this number. And then we'll come back into NinjaTrader. And we will plot that line. Paste. And this line is going to be a, let's see, where's my Dodger Blue? I don't know why I always use Dodger Blue, but I don't know, maybe I missed it already. Dodger Blue, let's see. Right there it is. And then we'll make that a solid line. Okay, so that's one of the levels that we've already mapped out for this morning. Easy one to kind of spot on the 15-minute, right? And then one right above it at the 25,354. Let's see where that one originated from. Right here. So you guys can see same criteria, movement to the upside, strong movement to the downside, broke structure, and I don't want to see any green candles before breaking structure. That's a very strong level. Copy that. And then we can place this one right here. I was thinking about having these all plotted out already, but then I'm like, well, what's the point if I'm trying to show you guys how to come up with these? All right, so now we've got 2 levels above us. No 5-minute level right anywhere there. So we'll go back to where price action is currently at, right here. And then we'll map out the one below us. So I've got the 25,107. We did kind of tap into it very close here. But again, you've got a up movement, you got a red candle, and then you got some break of structure. So not the greatest retracement down, but for a long, this would be a very nice setup. And again, it's where the 2 bodies intersect. I don't use the wicks. So that's the 25,107. And this is the beginning, guys. This is how I start my process every single setup that I take. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. I should make a default for it. I should do a default. Yeah, that would be a better idea. Let's save this as a 15-minute level. That's smart. That's smart of me. All right, so there's another level here. I'm going to get rid of this setup here. This one would have played out real nicely. Wish it would have happened a little later in the market, but... All right, and then let's see what else we got here. As you can see, I had a band. I had my weekly band. So these are areas in the market that have a lot of unbalanced volume, just really jam-packed. And as you guys can see, we came up, the market came up, got a tap into it, and rejected it pretty damn strongly. That rejection was about 100 points, about 90 points right here, about 100. And then you can see we came back in again, and the market rejected it once again. So these are strong levels that are strong bands that what it takes to get through them is going to be high impact news, headline news, or multiple retaps into these bands to finally break through. Because obviously price has to keep going in one direction or the other constantly. I mean, it could bounce around for days, but these are very difficult to kind of get through. And then, so no 5-minute levels yet here. Now that'll change obviously throughout the day. And that's kind of what I do with you guys throughout my trading day. And then 24,967, here we go. We got a strong movement to the upside. We come down, something here stops the market. One reason or the other, stops the market right here. Impulsive move to the upside, break structure. We're on the 15-minute. Level goes right where the 2 bodies intersect. So I will copy this guy. And from that point on, we'll have enough levels. I'm not expecting too much from the market today, but sometimes you say that. And all right, so that's 3. Oh, and I got this one right down here. That might be a little confusing, but there's a good reason for it. This is one of my setups right down here. So we'll take a look at that one in a little bit. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. All right, so we got 3 levels here. Now, I personally don't recommend... oh, and then let me fix the volume profile. I don't know why. See, again, it defaulted to 5 days. Not sure why it does that. Okay, so let's take, for instance, this first level right here at the 25,296. Does it look good on the volume profile? Yeah, absolutely. Looks pretty damn nice because we are going into a high volume area, okay? And obviously we can make some adjustments to this entry, but what I'm looking for is strong resistance after entry, which we see. We have good defense here. And then I'm looking for kind of a free flowing to TP1. So this is a little on the fat side. I would rather have seen this volume profile kind of coming out this way, but right off the bat, decent on the volume profile. So this is pretty simple. We could do this part right now pretty much on any platform. Okay, so you don't need anything special as of right now to do anything. Now, where you can start to develop an edge is you start taking a look at the level 2 at the 25,296, which I'll kind of tell you where it's at. Market's a little nutty right now, but all right, so right here we've got a lot of volume sitting at the 25,300. Okay, it's a very strong volume thing. It's a psychological number. And then we also have a lot sitting at like the 287. So right around here. 287's got a lot of volume. I don't really know how to demonstrate that one, but let's just say that this would be a pretty simple area for TP. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm starting to kind of develop a trading plan here off of this original 25,296 level. And then first stop. Well, there's not much. Excuse me. Sorry, no, that was really loud. You could kind of make a case for right here. That's your first void in the volume profile right up here. It gives you this nice little meat right there of defense. And we can make this now our normal entry. And for TP2, you can see you've got a node right there that's sticking out. Template, load, TP. So we said that we've got defense at the 25,300s. We got our entry at the 25,296. Take profit at the 25,287 and TP2 at the 25,283. And that's developed strictly from this morning level that I gave you. Making some slight adjustments. Now, I will say one thing, and we've been having this come up recently, where we've got a big stop hunt at the 25,310. 25,310 right here. Okay. So that's your sweepy area. That's the area that you definitely want to be careful with, because that is the area where there's going to be a lot of stops placing. It's the top of the structure. You'll see if you go to the left. And then, so everything that we did right now, yes, there was a little level 2, just kind of coming up with this defense of the 25,300s. So there is there. Now, for my entry models, you guys know I use the footprint chart. You guys might not have the footprint chart. In that scenario, what you can do is on the NQ, I would probably go down to like the maybe the 5 or the 10-second. Again, if you're on TradingView, that's going to be difficult to do unless you've got the premium version, but most platforms will allow you to go down to a second interval and just look for a confirmation candle. For those of you that are in my Signal group, you've seen the videos that I have in there, kind of explaining what those confirmations, but any type of little pattern that you can come up with, a downwards hammer, or you get a good wick from the previous candle, and you get a strong green candle after that. That could be your confirmation on the second time frame. I'm trying to give you as much as I can without the bigger tools that that we have in play. Now, I obviously have the footprint, so of course, to take a trade here, I would like to use that footprint confirmation, and that's how I would go about this trade right here. So, with that being said, let me see if I can load this guy. Trade route signals. All right, let's take. All right, this guy's loaded up. You guys probably do see the P&L at the 275. I did take a scalp last night. I don't know, it was around 10 or 10:30 on the ES. It's just for about 2 points. So that 275 is across 2 cash accounts. So I think it was like $135. I think it was about 2.5 points. All right. So we've got that area that I would like to see what type of, if we get a footprint confirmation there. The only issue here is that you've got this potential of the sweep. So I'm, again, not super thrilled about this one. And on a day like today, where people are not expecting much, the market needs liquidity. So it's going to want to hit an area that's got some high auction for sure. So there is always that. And then for the setup down below, this one. So this is where the 15-minute level came in. I've already I did this one last night. You guys already saw exactly where that 15-minute level came through right here at the 24,967. It's been refined down to the 24,962.50. So if you guys want to jot these down, these are one that we're going to be looking at. And this is going to be, so along at the 24,962.50, TP1 at the 24,974, TP2 at the 24,981, stop loss at the 24,947. We'll stick here and let me go down to the 1 minute. And the ES. The ES is getting close to these very, very juicy areas up here of unbalanced volume. Now, that's just me finding unbalanced volume, but let me see what we've got on the ES above us. So we're currently entering in a big weekly band right here. So we should see some trouble getting up to this 6846 number, but that's one that we've got mapped out on the 15-minute. So we'll map this one out as well. That one's up here, 6846. Okay, nice move down. Let's see what else we've got. We've got the 6846, and then we've got, and then I'll just show you on this 15-minute level. We're on the 15-minute time frame right now. This was a trade from last night that I took. Let's see here. Let's try to get back to that price action. Right there. Here's your 15-minute level right here that we just mapped out at the 6846. We come right back up. Strong impulsive move. Break of structure. Let me show. Let's see where the break of structure was. So this was just kind of intermediate break of structure right here, but it did break, and it's on the 15 minutes, so I put a little more weight on that. Same thing here, break of structure, no green candles whatsoever. Same thing here, break of structure. So I think the finding the levels shouldn't be too difficult for everybody. That's probably on the easier side. And then we can kind of go back in here. Was there a trade? Yeah, I think we had one mapped out. Had one mapped out on the NQ early this morning, and that one hit TP1 and TP2. I believe that's one you were looking at. I did not screenshot it. All right. So you guys can see we entered into this weekly band. You start getting a rejection off the weekly band. Now, again, another way to play just the weekly bands is if you do have the footprint chart, just go into the higher range. So like if you go to like a 10 or a 15 range on the ES, it'll give you some great confirmations on entering into these weekly bands if you want to trade with bigger stops and bigger take profits. So another one we've got is at the 67.61. And then this is an area that I really like because if you guys remember how I originally developed my levels, my trade setups will always be this. 2 levels very close together, tight stops. And if you can find 2 levels together, a 15 and a 5, I used to consider that to be a very good entry model. Because you've got 2 levels very close to each other. So you could put a stop, theoretically, maybe a point underneath your secondary level. Go 2 to 1, 1 to 1.5. You know, I'm a different trader now these days. I'm looking for more for unbalanced areas to target for TP1 and TP2. But this was a very, very easy way for me to trade, was when I found levels that were 2 together. So let me just mark these off. 67.61. Put this on the ES. And that is a 15-minute level. Right here. And then we've got another level sitting at the 67.58, and that's a 5-minute level. So I'll load the 15 and then make this dotted. And then you just constantly are looking at price action. So, you know, we're on the 5 minute right now on the ES. Okay. So what would need to happen here? I'd like to see a strong move that breaks structure down here. And then I've got a 5 minute level sitting right up here, right at the 68.22. Obviously, you got to wait for price action to develop that, if not, or not. Let's go to the 5 minute. So BDrex, it's very simple. Just how I'm finding the levels on the 5 and the 15 that I'm showing it to you, just jump down to the 1. So you're looking for the exact same level, but on the 1 minute. Sometimes you got to go to like to a 30-second, but you're going to see the same exact break of structure again on the, depending on the time frame that you're at. So if you go down to the 1, you want to see a break of the 1 minute structure. If you go down to the 30-second, which again on the NQ, you probably need to go down to like the 15-second, and you're just looking for mini areas, mini levels to create your unbalanced areas. It's the same concept on the bigger time frame than on the lower time frame. Yeah, that got TP1 and TP2. The only thing random was that one was at 8:32, so it was about 2 minutes after the open, and it's a little tough to take at that point. For me personally, I mean. So we've got the 25-107 coming up. Fits nicely on the volume profile, obviously. That's a nice placement of where this level is at. Let me see what's going on right there. It's an interesting little spot right here at the 25-107s. Let's see what the... So you got some level of defense at the 100s, which would be right around here. A lot of contracts sitting right there. That fits better right there. And then, let's see here. That's a pretty good TP2 right here. You got an impulsive move. So there's going to be unbalanced volume right there. Let's see what else we got. That's going to be your TP2 right there. Nope. Entry. So there you go. I showed that was the explanation right there of the unbalanced volume on the lower. I mean, just on the 1 minute was enough to find some decent targets here that were unbalanced. Now let's see how the 107s look. So the 100s, you've got a lot of defense, obviously. That's going to come in. Yeah, this looks pretty good right here. So let's see if I can... I'll load this guy in. All right, that one is in. Let's see what happens here. Hey Jeff, there was about a 3 or 4 minute conversation on Monday with my dad in Spanish, and didn't want the entire world to hear my conversation, even though we were talking about lunch, going to lunch, but that's why it was not posted. And I had him on speakerphone as well. You said you target unbalanced volume. Can you show us the chart? Okay, so you saw that. And I'm going to be honest, right now, the ES, these two down here, these look very nice. So we will develop a setup from right here for sure. Let's just keep looking at the NQ here. See how they stack up. I'll be right back, guys. But these are both already set up in the auto strategy. So should take both of these trades right now. right. There was a question on the volume profile. Who had it? Kamish, can you explain what composite profiles use for the different time frames? Okay, so for the 1 and the 5, everything that you're seeing on this main trading chart this is all on the 45-day composite. Now, you have to understand that I've got 7 monitors running right now. And the monitors off to my left, which is the NQ, the right, which is my ES. So when you see me moving my head around, you kind of know which one I'm looking at. Where I find my unbalanced volume and where I'm finding my majority of my setups are on the 120-day composite profile. And that is on my bigger time frame. So like the 15-minute and the hour, those are all on the 120-day. I don't know who's with me, but my OBS crashed. Not sure. I never had that one happen before. Well, let me know if you guys are still with me here or not. That was weird. I'm back. Okay. That's strange. I know we had a lot of high winds here early this morning, and on my Ring app, I was getting a bunch of notifications that have a bunch of power failures. So, but I don't know. That was weird. I've never seen that error message in my streaming software. All right. So on the NQ, we had a short at the 25-254.50, targeting the 25-249 and the 246 with a stop at the 25-260. Now you guys can kind of do your own plotting here and kind of see where I came up with that. That was weird. Not sure. I got a message that the streaming software crashed, which I've never seen before. Doing this over a month. But like I said, I've been getting a lot of reports on my Ring app that the high winds that we're having, or that we had, knocked out a lot of people's power. I don't know if there's something correlated to that or not, but my internet seems fine, perfectly fine. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's load this guy up. All right. Steve, Rob, I'm a Discord member. Is it better to join your signal through there or here on YouTube? Discord, if you do the Discord desktop, so if you've got the desktop version on a PC, I would 100% recommend joining through there. It's going to be your cheapest option. If you do it through mobile on your phone, throughout any of these services, they add a ridiculous amount of service fee that's going to either Apple or Android. And I mean, you could also do YouTube as well. I think YouTube through as long as you're not doing it through mobile, you will save yourself some money. But either one are perfectly fine. All right, 13 minutes for IB, which we don't have our IB indicator on. Let's get that guy back on. Don't forget to hit the like on the stream, guys. Beatrex, what day are you on your composite for that explanation? Are you on the 45 or the 120? Because as far as... Oh, that's the short that I'm looking at. Yeah, you can make a case. Who was that said that? Looking at the 1 minute 45. Okay, so Beatrex, you can make a case for what you're looking at the 52s. Okay. I just adjusted it slightly with level 2. But the 52s would be tucked in what you're saying, where you're saying. So you can, you're going to have a plus or minus. I mean, like I said, on my NQ, I don't like to see much more than 3 or 4 points of drawdown. I like to see it right on I like to see 0 drawdown, to be honest with you, but that's... Oh, we do see that a lot, but... So that's a slight adjustment with the level 2. So that's where the unfair advantage starts to come in with when you do have the added tools. If you guys remember, I took an IB trade yesterday, an IB high trade. Probably one of the cleanest ones that I've seen in a while. I went through a period where it was very clean every single day. And then we went through some kind of sloppy period for about 2 weeks where we were seeing some really big sweeps for lower liquidity or higher liquidity sitting up there, which again, you can see with your level 2, helps you guys out a lot. Down here, but yesterday's was super clean. Got a great footprint confirmation. It was just a pretty clean trade. So we got about 9 minutes for IB to be set here. Yeah, I got the notification on my Bookmap that there's sale to get notified. I don't think it's actually come out yet. If somebody knows, let me know. I don't know if it comes out tonight or tomorrow. Friday. Okay. Anybody pick up any Apex accounts with the sale that they're running? So they're 80% off on the 100K. The PA fees are $10, which is a huge drop. And then for the 50Ks, you're 80% off, which I think puts you around $39 for the evaluation. And then $40 for the PA fees, which again, I think that's where you're saving the bulk of the money. People like to look at the percentages, 80, 90%, but I think where the real savings comes in is on that lifetime PA fee. So in my opinion, from what I've seen pretty much this year, I think they've ran 90% a few times, but this still beats it. It's the biggest, lowest cost. You got to go into them with the mindset that you're going to pass and have to pay that PA fee. That's the way I would look at it. Thanks, Bdrex. And I'm not these ridiculous YouTubers out there that are making pretty much a really nice living off of their affiliate codes. The affiliate codes that I put out, I've got 4 of them. One with Tradeify, Apex, Funding Ticks, and Take Profit Trader. I could tell you right now, and I've used this analogy for the last 4 years, and I think it hits home with a lot of people. My affiliate income monthly probably just pays for my Verizon family cell phone bill. So it's not it's not a lot. And I know I'm not big time like the rest of the people that are out there. Nor do I have any real ambition for that. I'm here to trade and to make money on my cash accounts. That's really my name of my game. And then as far as the Signal services, I came out with a Signal service for $40 a month. Started that in like end of February. And that's been doing, I guess, okay. I just don't understand why, like in my mind, and this is just me like thinking realistically, I don't see why people wouldn't make that $40 investment. It seems to me like it's I think it's almost too cheap, like where it seems like you might not be getting any value of it, or thinking that you might not get any value of it in the beginning. But I mean, there's like 15 to 18 winning setups every single month on that service. And one trade could pay your signals off for the entire year. So that's always boggled my mind why that really hasn't really caught fever. And I would say in general, YouTube and Discord, I run a net negative on, profit and loss wise. I mean, just the equipment that I needed to get these live streams going. This is not me playing a violin or anything. I'm just being transparent. I got nothing else to really talk about right now. The investment that I did to get these streams up and running was right around $4,000. So the Signal service and the Discord and YouTube run on and unless you're getting 1 million views, like you're getting hundreds of thousands of views per month, the ad revenue on YouTube is abysmal. It won't even pay my Verizon bill. Won't pay my electric bill. Let's see if I can find a bill. Maybe my Comcast bill. I guess that's one way to... My internet bill. So I guess that's a positive. But I genuinely feel like this is the... This is... I don't want to say the only way to trade, but I feel like this is the... There's a lot of different ways I know to trade. But I feel like the best traders that are out there, that at least that I have read about, watched on YouTube about, I think they've obviously already figured this out, and they incorporate a lot of this that I'm doing here every single day. Because there's no secret that they all are using volume profile, they're using the footprint chart, they're using Bookmap. And not to say that there's not other ways to trade, there obviously is. I guess if you have a system with rules and conditions, you can almost make anything work. When you do the stream tonight, can we suggest stuff then? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. It's an open conversation. I might pour myself a cocktail tonight, and we could just shoot the shit and talk about everything that trading related. And it's going to be at 7 o'clock tonight, Central Time. And I'm going to say this one more time. Let me just put it out here. So it's very simple. Depending on the platform that you joined. So if you joined my VIP stream or my Signal service through YouTube, go onto YouTube and watch the live. If you subscribe to my signals through Discord, right below my signal, in that signal group, that's a private group, you're going to see a channel that was created that says live Q&A. And if you click on that tonight at 7 Central Time, you'll be able to see. So it'll be multicasted to Discord and to YouTube. So it doesn't matter where you joined from. You just have to go to that platform that you joined from. I gotta figure out what kind of whiskey I want tonight. Do gotta make some lasagnas for my sister's house. I went to my sister-in-law's house yesterday for like a Thanksgiving dinner, which my wife ended up cooking the turkey, which was fantastic. I do need to make some lasagnas sometime. I'll probably make it after the stream for tomorrow. That's kind of nice that we're not hosting this year. Will it be recorded? That's a good question. Yeah, I could see benefit of it. Let's just say this. If there's nothing ridiculous, it'll be recorded. If it's something ridiculous, we start talking about just absolute nonsense, I'll make that decision. But yeah, it could be recorded. So I have to pay to watch the stream tonight, 2%. Yeah, the stream tonight is for my Signal members and my VIP stream members. It's going to be just a Q&A question, Q&A one-on, well, I say one-on-one, but I guess it might be 1 on 30, 1 on 50, I don't know. David, it'll be a 7 p.m. Central Time. You too, Steve. All right, so our IB is at least set. We got IB set at 25,280.25, and then we got the 25,133. And then a few setups in between. Yes, looks like shit right now. There is a setup down here that we will take a look at, but I don't think there's any hurry on that run right now. Just got here. Do we have any open signals on the ES right now? We do. Yes, even though it almost got tagged. The 6644.75 targeting the 6647 and the 6650. Stop loss at the 6639. And if you give me about 10-15 minutes, I will give you a setup right here. This looks juicy for me. But we got a ways to go for that one. All right, let me go refresh my coffee, guys. We're getting close to this 25,254. Let's expand this out a little bit. All right, reaction to TP2. Let's get through these 50s. And I am letting the automated strategy take this trade here today. That's the 50s. Now let's see us. Let's. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Why'd you do that? Why did you do that? They took our... they just swept our unbalanced right here. '60s now look kind of inviting here, just because of the fact that they just swept this unbalanced volume right here. Let's see if the 50s 5s come in. I'd rate this now probably a B to a B minus setup. I had no issue with this TP2, but I did not like this one right here. Where'd that go up to? 5150. So that 52 that we were just talking about, you probably would have missed that by a couple ticks, but it was a good reaction right there. Now we've got stops just came in on the 50s. It's a tough setup here, guys. Very tough setup right now. I would say this is probably a B minus setup. So now they just stack the 50s again, which is a lot of stops coming here, obviously, with this push to the downside. So concern would be is you come right back up into this area and you sweep this, you might get a push, especially with a lot of volume that's sitting at the 60s. Well, Let's take a look at this ES real quick. Stay right there, NQ. All right, maybe not. Let's... All right, I think I'm gonna turn the strat off for the 250/450. Well, let me just keep an eye on the 55s here. 25. Keep an eye on it. All right, ES. Can't do that. All right, the ES. So we've got this 15-minute level, 5-minute level, okay? Where you get your advantage is going to be at the 67, 63, as far as some, what am I trying to say here? As far as your entry point. So this is going to be, load this up as an entry. Unbalanced, sitting at the 67, 66. And then let's see if we can find a TP2. And then our stop. Our stop. Let's see. Let's go down to the 1. Right here. That's easy. Easy peasy. Impulsive move. Unbalanced volume. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. All right, so this is the setup on the ES, along at the 67.63, targeting the 67.66, and then TP2 at the 67.69.50, with a stop at the 67.58. Leave that up there for a second. This one's coming quick. Let me just see what I see here. Might not be able to give you all the full analysis here, but let me just see. Not super clean yet. What's going on with the 250s? So the 250s, remember, they got a lot of stops sitting right here. Right here-ish. Okay, so big stop loss area right here. So don't think that that's your defense. You might get a reaction, but you very much could get a strong push. And I don't see the 55s coming in. Well, they're not terrible, but they're not great either. They've got a big pocket right up here that they're looking at. Again, I know we want to trade to see setups and have setups happen, but this would not be anywhere near an A+ or an A setup for me. Now, can it work? For sure. All right, so I got my strat disengaged from here now, from this signal at the 25,254. This price action kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. Mm. Dip incoming. DA 38, 33. What do you know? Tell me what you know. I love hearing people's rationality. Maybe we all learned something here. What do you see? You can pull the auto-stream up and edit the default settings. You don't have to make changes. Yeah, I did. I just do a template, Michael. I just did a template in there, and I've got a template set that with the settings that how I like it. Michael, on this NQ trade, would if we would have had the invalidation settings on, do you think that this would have invalidated the setup? Would the strategy have invalidated that setup? Out of curiosity, on the NQ? The one that's on screen right here. I mean, that's the auto strat, the order management that Michael developed. It's actually really snazzy. And I was just, the way that my mind works, I'm constantly thinking about things. A lot of different applications where you can use that very effectively. It could work on a lot of different strategies. Obviously through NinjaTrader, but it's got a lot of different applications that you can use it for. Not applications, like platforms. Let's see here. 55s are still kind of weak. I'm gonna set this one out. So right there was where they defended. Now let's see if they go for the stops right here. It's going to be their next. And then remember, they've got the 65s that they're very interested in here. TP1, TP2 have been pretty balanced out. Not looking the greatest right there at all. Now, of course, it could win and alright, so if you'd had the tick value set high enough for that candle wick to have tapped in, it would have. So if you set an invalidation with 4 ticks, if price comes within 4 ticks. Oh, okay, I got you. That's cool. So if we missed that trade by 3 points, you'd have to have at least a 12 tick invalidation. I understand. That's some high-tech shit that you got going on over there. What's happening with ES? Let's see. ES does have some. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in the lower time frame. All right, there was the push. No TP1 yet. No TP1 yet. Could come down to the 45s. Let's see what it wants. Let's see what it wants here. Very indecisive area, as you can see. thinking to itself, well, I already did everything I needed to do down here. Now the juicy stuff's up here. I already played around in that box for a while. Let's see. See if my thought process was right. There you go. There you go. Sometimes you got to know when to not take them. Almost as important as knowing when to take them. Right there. Right to the 65. Played out like a book, man. Sometimes it's better to know when not to take them. Everything about that setup on that secondary, without that push right there, smelled nasty to me. So, all right, now we got the IB. Now we got the IB. Let's go. I got so much. All right, and we still got this 296. Let me get rid of this guy. Yeah, very good non-trade. So in the comments, in the chat, let me know how many people listened to me on that one. Or how many people took it. Don't be shy, man. Don't be shy. All right, let's see. What's the IB? 25 280s. Okay, I like it. Let's see if we get some kind of confirmation here. Get rid of this guy. That's a power move, Nordic. And that's probably the best answer I've heard all day. That's a power move right there. I like that. Let's see a tap. Got my finger on the trigger here. I should have loaded the strat on the IB. That would have been a fun one to see. Dang it. Come on. Don't unbalance all that. Let's go. Or don't balance it, I should say. Oh. All right. Close. Closes a red candle right here. Come on, be a clean one. Closes the red candle. Oh, it did. All right. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that sucks. My stop loss is pretty much right at the entry. We did get a confirmation, though. That's a terrible stop loss placement considering it's an entry for my next trade. But it is what it is. Let's see what happens here. Oh, it's kind of light on the volume, though, actually, in general. They're going to come after the 300s. 300s is a big possibility right up here. But this should still take this trade, I would think, to the short, too. So this could be a double, I don't know how, we'll see what happens here. Because this is set up on the auto strat right here. Not much to prop it up besides the 300s at this point, which is no good for my stop loss. Or do we increase the stop to the 300s? Yeah, that gives us a little bit of... That gives us at least this play here. Might even get me into a secondary position here. So this should be interesting. Let's see, right around there. Let's see what happens here. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay, so it got me into another position. Very cool. And I guess let's go for the glory. So we'll put these both right at the same spot. Let's see if that'll work. There it is. All right. Nothing to manage at this point. Let's sit and watch. All right, what I come back to? That doesn't look pretty. That does not look pretty. Well, I went for the full gamut on this one. All right. That was nasty. 296 had nothing. IB had nothing. That was yucky. I will say in full disclosure, I was with my Apex eval. So did not take that one in cash. That would have been a little reckless on the cash side. Didn't like where that stop was put right in front of my entry. That didn't make any sense. So that made a lot of sense in moving it. Don't make the move here. Don't make that move here. That would be really ugly. That would be really ugly. There's not much to the downside, though. Five-pointer. Man, now they formed an absolute brick wall. A house right here. This could be the move right here. If they take out the 90s right here, this could be a free fall. Balance everything else that they left on the downside now. And they're going into a lot of resistance here too. This could be a big turnaround here. Let's see what this says here. So let's see, what was the damage there? Oh, that was a big damage on the... So on 5 Apex, these are the Apex evals that I bought, down 760. Ouchie. Each one. That was a big trade. That was a big trade, but I would have definitely taken the L on the 296. And I probably would have taken the L on the IB. Well, if I would have been in the IB trade with cash, I probably would not have taken the 296 just based on the risk and where that stop loss of the 15 points was put on with the entry. Let's see. If they could break through the 90s, you could see a big push to the downside. I don't know. Should we try to pass the Apex evals? One trade? I would need to have my stop above all of this huge wall, so it would be a big stop here. But let's see. I would like to see them break through the 90s. Let's YOLO 5 Apex accounts here. Because I do see a lot of downside potential here. A lot. Let's see, the 280s. Okay, that's pretty light. Pretty light, too. So the only fear here would be as a retest of this This goes up into the 320s. Yeah, so that's like a perfect box right here. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. I'm kind of in the camp with the Apex. When they're that cheap, you might as well just try to pass them as fast as possible. Obviously, that trade didn't help the cause, but they were good setups. Let's see. Matches nicely with the volume profile. I'm trying to think of how many points I would need to pass the accounts, though. Let's see. Let me do the math. Da, 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 da. Oh. 4. Oh shit, that's a huge trade. That would be a huge trade. Kind of doesn't make sense to me. Why is the math not working out here? Oh, I got to go up on my contract size. That's why. I would have to go up on my contract size here. That makes more sense. You only need 16.5 points if you use 10 contracts. Okay. Yeah, but now I'm down 700 and I'm down 766. So I got to factor that in too. I need like 25 points. Oh, we're doing a lot of early math here. Let's see. So 5. No, that's too many. So 30, 31. Okay. Let's see a break. Oh, but I gotta put 10 contracts on. Oh, that's nutty. Let's see. But I said they got to break. They got to break through. Man, there's not much. This is all pretty open down here. But it's also not going to give me a big stop, though, with the 10 contracts. At least I don't feel it will. So I would only have about a 16. I probably need, because now I'm down 700 on the eval, so I would need like only a 10 or 14 point stop. That's tough. That's tough. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I need that. Now I'm not going to have my, let's see, the NQ. Oh, it's at the top of this band. Ew. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that area. No real stop, maybe 8-point stop. Otherwise, you pull the account. Yeah, that's. Not much going on here. Let's see if we can find a real. Okay. Let's do this differently. Let's do this just a bit differently. I mean, that was a lot of business that they just did. A lot. Entry. Load TP. Load TP. And let's load stop loss. All right. So this was a set. Here's a setup on the NQ you could definitely mark up. Long at the 25, 230, 250, targeting the 25, 238.25. TP2 at the 25, 243.75, and the stop at the 25, 225. So mark that one up. Wow, they are pumping, man. I was not expecting this on the day before Thanksgiving, but always expect the unexpected. So I could try to pass the Apex accounts with this trade right here, but I just don't know how long it's going to take us to get down there. Let's see if I can pass these with on stream. And I'm just gonna, if you look at the P&L, guys, the 35.15. If I control center, if I connections disconnect Apex, yes, I've got 2 strategies running. Yes, that's the cash. So as of right now, that's the only thing that I'm still up for the day on the cash, which is most important there. This is with Apex on. And that was that five trades times the $700, the IB and the setup. Only problem is I got really nothing to the top side. I mean, we're in Schitt's Creek up here. Let's see. Right here, we've got an area. Right here, we've got an area. Let me jump to the 5-minute. So we can all see this. Let's get rid of all this garbage. Nothing there. That sucks. Nothing there whatsoever. Let's look up here. Man. Topside has garbage. There's nothing there that I can even remotely make a case for. My best play would be to try to pass him would be on this setup right here. This is a very high quality setup. The nice thing about Apex 25K is the profit target is the same as the loss limit. 15 makes it easy to YOLO. No real stat. Done for the day. Let's see. What's the 280s doing? Nothing. Yeah, let's take a look at the ES. Why didn't I map this one out? Why did they map this out right here? What in the heck? Why didn't I map that out? This is what happens when you get distracted. It would have been right there. Son of a... That wouldn't have hit, though. That would not have hit. Well, that's also 6 points. Probably would have my TP2 right there. God bless it. Why didn't I map this out? Come on, chat. That's my... This is my... It's my everyday setup right there. That's on me. Even though this might go down to this 34s. But that move's kind of been played out. But let's see. Well, let's YOLO this guy. Let's go to 10. Okay. I don't think we can get a lot from 3 points, though. Let's YOLO it. All right, so that's unbalanced still, even though that's very close to being balanced. ES has got some support at the 38, the 40s, the 41s. So I got, well, shit, I got to go all the way up to the 41s, up to this box. I just don't think that's going to give me enough, it's not going to give me enough profit. Let's move the target down a little then. That's actually the line, though. That is the line that I would have had for my TP. I got to keep it right there. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that's not enough money. That's not enough. We need more than that. That was easy. I don't know, chat, why I did not have this mapped out. This was my area. What the fuck am I doing today? This is what happens when you go off script. That was an easy play too. All right, the ES, let's take a look, because now we've got some areas here. We've got this little area right here. That shit. That was nothing. Morning, Mike. Morning, Boza. So Nelson, what I mean on the YOLO is, since what I'm trading right now is these Apex evaluation accounts, they have a 1 day to pass. So the target is the target's $3,000. So you can actually hit that in one trade, trading the max 10 contracts and try to get to your PAs very quickly. That's a straight. I mean, I haven't traded Apex in a very, very, very long time. And I picked up 15 accounts when they ran that sale. So that's what I'm trading with here right now today. And I'm just trying to see if I can pass at least 5 of these accounts in one trade. We took a nasty IB and Q trade and a nasty setup. And then I had a beautiful setup on the ES, but that was, for one reason or the other, I did not mark that one up. That's on me. So again, currently on cash, disconnect Apex. Currently on cash, I am plus 275, but it's these Apex accounts that are bringing down that total nasty style. So we'll see. But there ain't not much here. Really like the setup on the NQ for the long at the 25, 232. Targeting the 238 and the 243. Stop loss at the 25, 225. That looks like a very nice setup. And the ES. The ES, we don't have much. We've got this set up for a long at the 67.63, targeting the 67.66 and the 67.69.50 with a stop at the 67.58. I don't think there's an early close today. I think it's I think we close today at 5, like a normal day. Key, was that on the NQ or the ES? With the 6 contracts, was that on the NQ? Everybody should have this set up. Very nice setup there on the ES. And we got one level up here at the 68.46 that we had mapped out, but no real setup yet. Let me see what's going on there. Oh no, that was the same setup I already. That's the same setup I already had marked off. We missed that one. That's the one that I should have taken. That should have been a great signal right there. Yeah, there's nothing here there's nothing here that feels great. They really did not expect the market to pump like this today. It is low volume, so on the low volumes days, you usually do see a lot of bigger movements. But really, the retracement only happened from the 8:30 to 9:30. And we do have this level that coincides on the ES and the NQ, so they're both pretty strong right there. Let's go 10. Let's see what's going on here. All right, if I'm going to put my faith in one, let's just do this right here. Let's see if we can get a fill there. I would need about, yeah, I only need about 7 or 8 points there. So let's see. Let's see if we can pass one of these evals. Or 5 of these, I should say. Just stay long. Yeah, that's always a great. All right, so help me do the math. My ATM's at 15 points, so I don't think I need that much. I don't need 15 points. I guess to be on the safe side. Let's see. Regardless, my stop would be pretty much at the end of this box, but I've got my stop. It's set at 15 points. I'm pretty much just taking my IB. See if we get a fill here. Give me a fill. Come on. Give me the fill. There we go. Oh. So this one's done. Why? That one's just started. Uh-oh. Well, that wasn't good. So that took the other one there. That's not going to even... Yeah, I don't even think if I hit this, it's going to pass it. Let's see. Who said that just take it long? That's going to knock me out. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Oh, yeah. I should have started my leader account with 31. That was dumb. Okay. Now I understand what I did wrong there. Wow, this is nutty for a Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Well, this is going the full gamut. I think I got about 800 bucks left. Or no, that's it. That's it. All right, well, there went the 5 evals. Actually, 4. Just stay long. I don't have any more. Well, I do have 5 accounts left. But you know, the second you go long, then it's going to reverse on you. And this is just making a ton of really bad habits right here that I haven't done this in at least a year. Have I ever traded like this before? But I figured it would be an opportunity to pass the accounts. But you guys said, let's go long. Let's go long with the 5. So that would be 35. I know I'm going to be totally lost on this one. Whoa. Saw some monkeys on my desktop. Just stay long. Well, now I got to set up this whole copy trader now. All right, let's just see what would happen. So 35 is to be the leader account. These are gone. And then it would be 36, 37, 38, 39. This still doesn't make sense. I feel like the 35. Yeah. All right, let's try it. On the NQ. So let's take the 35. Now we're going into another area of resistance. This is probably the worst time to do this, but let's try it. And you said 17 points is what I need. Do only 3. Oh, I already did 5, man. There's the long. There's the long play everybody said, even though I did hear them say long from down here. But let's see. How many points do I need? I got 10 contracts on the... Oh, you see? The second... This is just the market saying, Rob, this is not how you trade, buddy. This ain't your strategy, my friend. All right, so 20 times 10, 200, and I need to make 3,000. So that is divided by 15 points. Damn, so right where I was at. Now I got to do the math on here. So 72, that's 8, that's 16. All right, I'll give myself a buffer. Oh, it looks like these are going to get knocked out too. Who said to go long? Kadoosh. Kadoosh. It's funny because my gut said to go short. $15.5. Oh, so I need an extra point. I think I have it. I think I have a buffer there. No, I don't even know if I'm gonna. This doesn't look very promising. Doesn't look like we're going to the promised land anytime soon here. Oh, there you go. All right. Well, that was a full destruction of the Apex evals. Come on, guys. You guys said to go long. Short was the play. Short was the play. All right. Well, I can't be looking at that P&L, so I'm going to have to now take this off because that's going to be... Let's go back down to reality. All right, this is reality. Oh, well, we tried. We tried. Rob, there is a risk disclosure for listen to the chat. Not sure what you mean by that. That was a classic play right there on the with trading. And that's a prime example of people just blow their accounts. Da, 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 da. All right, 10:47. I am going to be done for the day. Can't really tell you the P&L. I think it was like negative 30,000 on just the PA evaluations, but still green for the day on my cash. That's all I really care about. And looking at the setups, the A+ setups, guys, let's only look at those. This other stuff has been funny business. We got a long at the 25, 232, 50, targeting the 25, 238 and a quarter. And the 25, 243 and 75. Stop loss at the 25, 225, 50. And we've got another setup down here at the 25, 107, targeting the 25, 115. TP2 at the 25, 124. Stop loss at the 25, 096. On the ES, nothing to the top side, we've got a very nice setup here at the 67.63, targeting the 67.66, and TP2 at the 67.69. Stop loss at the 67.58. And one more at the 66.44, targeting the 47 and the 50 with the stop loss at the 66.39. You're supposed to trade 5 long and 5 short. I don't think you could do that. I don't think that's against the rules with Apex. You can't take 2 positions in the opposite direction. That I know for sure. It looked like that level worked out pretty well on the ES, the 68.46. All right, guys, if I don't see you guys tonight on the private member stream, have an awesome Thanksgiving. Hope you guys get some deals on Black Friday. Again, if you're going to get any evaluations, shit, now I got to go out and buy at least 10 or 15 more Apex ones, and maybe try to do it the right way this next time. But I figured we got a weekend coming up. We could have some fun on stream here today. But if you're going to be purchasing any evals, use code TraderRob. Again, streams tonight, members only at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you join through YouTube, you'll watch the live stream on YouTube. If you join through Discord, watch it through Discord. And be ready with your questions. Depending on how many people we have in the live stream, it might be an hour, might be 2 hours. I'll have a cocktail ready, so I'll make some. And the floor is yours, guys. So the questions are going to be on your side. So if you guys are shy, then it might be a boring session, and we can talk about anything trading. Take care, guys. Once again, happy Thanksgiving. Actually, kind of a tough week in general this week for trading. We had a few setups yesterday. I actually think I've ended the week green each day, but just kind of ugly the way that we got there, especially yesterday. Yesterday was kind of nutty. And that's kind of expected. I kind of went into this week knowing that these 3 days before the Thanksgiving might be a little bit strange, but either way, we'll get all back to it Monday morning at market open. Actually, I might be a little early. The stream schedule for Monday might start at about 7:45. So just look out for my notifications on YouTube. Take care, everybody.